Welcome to Tuesdays with Tom. So glad you could join me today. I wanted to share with you a story I saw on television last week. Now, I'm a sports fan. I love basketball and golf and football, but I also know sometimes there's too much sports in life, and sometimes sports can mean too much to people. And I've also thought more recently how so many kids in our country try to rely on sports to get ahead, and aren't able to do that. But there was a story this past week, which maybe was the perfect football story you could possibly hope for. A story of triumph and victory and life and happiness and joy. This is when sports are at their absolute best. It's the story about a football player drafted. His name is Kwity Paye. Now, his family is from Liberia. And when he was very little, there was a terrible war happening in the country. And so his mother grabbed her children and they fled to Sierra Leone, and they were refugees for a time. She told the story of the horrible loss and death of her father. It was terrible and tragic. And they made their way to America. And it turned out that Kwity was a good athlete. And she was working 2 jobs. And he needed to go to a special high school. He wanted to go to a private high school that was nearby because it was a great school for football. And he said, "Mom, if you can help me pay for high school, you won't have to pay for college." Well, it turned out that she did everything she could, working 2 jobs and more, sent him to that high school. And he got a full ride to be a Michigan Wolverine football player. And then finally, last week, he was drafted in the NFL. And his mother was just shedding tears of how far their family had come from war-torn Liberia, terrible violence and great loss of life. And when asked what she was going to do now by the news reporter, she started to speak, and then Kwity, he interrupted her and said, "She's retired now. My mom is retired. She's worked so hard, and now she can just enjoy life." So look for these stories of hope against hope, and stories of triumph and abundant life. I pray that those stories might become a part of your life and that you can be a part of making that story for others. Blessings and peace be with you.